YouTube, good morning and welcome back to another episode, a championship episode at the Better's Edge. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm out here in Mexico on the beach giving you guys winners like I do each and every single weekend. We have a huge slate of college football action today, guys. We are coming off the first losing Saturday that we've had the entire season. But tonight, Championship Saturday, we are going to get it all back. Guys, let's start in Georgia. We have in the SEC championship game, the Alabama Crimson Tide at the Georgia Dome against the Georgia Bulldogs, as I mentioned, in the SEC championship game. Right now, this line is sitting at Georgia -1.5. This is a rematch of a game we saw earlier this season when the University of Alabama went into Athens on the road in Georgia and defeated the Georgia Bulldogs 27-20. A lot of people are looking at this game on a neutral field in Georgia saying Georgia's the better team. Yes, they lost game one, but they're going to go ahead and come back and win this game, being the better team, not going to lose twice to Alabama in the same season. And a part of that statement I agree with, guys. I do think Georgia, in general, is a better team than Alabama, but these two teams are very close and very evenly matched. These are two teams that offensively are going to have their way to a certain extent with the opposition's defense throwing the ball. We've seen both of these teams struggle to get their ground game moving, to get their ground game going offensively, and defensively, both defensive lines really play stout up front and limit their opposition's attack on the ground. I think we're going to see both of these teams, even though I know Georgia had a lot of success offensively on the ground in the first game. I think we're going to see both these teams take away the opponent's run game today. It's going to open up the attack in the air for Stockton with Georgia and with Alabama throwing the ball. We know Kellen DeBoer, his style, coming from Washington, he likes to throw the ball around the park. The ground game since Nick Saban has left Alabama has basically been non-existent for the University of Alabama. They're going to throw the ball. And we've seen Ty Simpson have a lot of success this season throwing the ball. I think both these offenses in the air are going to have success. This game is going to come down to which team makes less mistakes offensively. In critical moments, we're talking about fumbles, we're talking about interceptions, we're talking about penalties, we're talking about maybe missed blocks. It's going to come down to execution, whether it's a key mistake or executing on the field. In my opinion, and I've talked about it on the show with you guys quite a bit, this is just an opinion, it's not an official play on this game. In my opinion, I've seen this movie before with Kellen DeBoer, with this Alabama team, and I talk about it on this show very often. You can't really count on this Alabama team to show up when it matters. I've seen critical mistakes from this team far too often. Now, with that said, that 4th and 2 decision from DeBoer last week at Auburn with the game tied 2020, I'm kind of torn on how I want to comment on this. On one hand, it's a ballsy move for that fucker to make, and it won them the game. On the other hand, it could just as easily be perceived as a dumb decision. Now listen, I get it. I understand analytics. I understand the idea behind going for it. Had he been going up against a stronger opponent, an opponent with a stronger pass attack, a better offense, That would be a no-brainer type of move. And I get that Auburn was moving the ball in the second half in that game almost at will. So a part of me says I like that decision, but at the same time, you got to be able in that spot on the road at Auburn. We're talking about Auburn's offense here, to rely on your defense to stop them from getting any points to win that game. It worked out. They won the game. Auburn gets a stop there. It could easily be perceived as a bonehead decision, a stupid decision. I just think I don't have the trust right now in Kellen DeBoer to back the Alabama Crimson Tide in this spot. The one thing that does concern me in this game is Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart is 1-7 against the University of Alabama, and that one win was in the national championship game. We all know that. I love him as a coach. I love what he's doing at the University of Georgia, but how is this man 1-7 against the University of Alabama in his tenure there at Georgia? That's the concern that I have. You can throw all the Nick Saban games out the door if you want to. Fine. He's 0-2 against Kellen DeBoer, a coach that I rip constantly on this show. So it's not just against Nick Saban. With all of that said, guys, it's not the play of the day. It's a one-star play. Give me the University of Georgia -1.5 on a neutral site in Georgia to win the SEC championship. Moving on to the Big Ten championship, guys. It's the play of the day. The best game on the board. The number one team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes. The number 2 in the country, the Indiana Hoosiers, facing off, as I mentioned, in the Big Ten championship. This line opened at 6, guys. This is a pure mathematical play. There's nothing emotional or stylistic that you need to look into when capping this game. And let me tell you why. This is the number 1 defense in Ohio State, and they're laying 4.5 points on a neutral site. They're the number 1 defense in basically every category: against the pass, against the run, yards per play, yards per attempt, on the ground per attempt, on the ground attempts per game, points per game, yards per game. This is the number 1 defense in basically every single category across the board in Ohio State. And we know why. They have ballers at every level of defense. Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs. These are all first-round draft picks at Ohio State. But guess what, guys? This Indiana Hoosiers team also has NFL players. Fernando Mendoza, most likely going to be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft this upcoming draft. This Indiana Hoosiers team is essentially not across the board like Ohio State, but they're basically the number 2 defense in most of those categories. Points per game, against the rush, against the pass, they're top 5. Yards per game, they're number 2. In every single statistical category that Ohio State Buckeyes are number 1, this is a defense basically right behind them. Both of these defenses are going to be facing off against the best offenses that they faced this entire season tonight. This is going to be the best offense Ohio State has faced by far. This is going to be the best offense Indiana has faced by far. I get it. People are looking at this game and they're seeing all the stars on Ohio State. And trust me, I named a few on defense already. There's a ton on offense as well. Julian Sayin, Bo Jackson, Carnell Tate. The list goes on and on. Guys, when you're handicapping and you're betting, it comes down to numbers. At the end of the day, what the data shows, what the numbers show, is that these two teams, and this is the reason that this line is dropping. It opened at 6. There's a reason this line is dropping. It's now at 4. There is not a 4-point gap between these two teams. It's the play of the day. It takes some balls, some brass balls to make. Yes, it does. And that's what I'm here to do, is to give you guys the calls that are difficult to make. Take the points tonight, +4. It's a 3-star college football championship weekend play of the day. Indiana Hoosiers +4 in the Big Ten championship. Guys, down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm coming back tomorrow while I'm out here in Mexico on the beach with more winners in the NFL.